Three people decided to spend their vacations in Antarctica. Bianca had some trouble with the harsh weather, but felt it was worth it in the end. Pablo had a great time photographing the penguins for his social media page. And Helena got to do some fishing while she was there. On the last day of their trip, passing through airport security, one of them got caught trying to take a penguin with them in their backpack. Take a look at the picture. Can you tell who it was? Let's see what we have here. Well, is that a penguin's feet poking out of Helena's backpack? It sure is. Guess she did more than just fishing during her vacation. Yikes! These three young men are brothers. They were born as identical triplets, and their favorite hobby is to confuse people by switching their identities. Carol is a longtime friend of the brothers, but she hadn't seen them in over a decade. When she arrived at their place, she couldn't tell who was who. She asked the one sitting on the left, "Which brother is sitting in the middle?" And the reply was, "That's Sam." And she returned to the guy in the middle and asked, "What's your name?" And he said, "I'm Alex." She turned to the guy on the right and asked, "Who's that guy in the middle?" And the answer was, "Ah, that's Bob." Carol got frustrated at her friends but decided to play along. She knew that Sam always told the truth, Bob always lied, and Alex was unpredictable. Sometimes he lied, but sometimes he told the truth. We know that Sam always tells the truth, so the brother on the left couldn't be Sam, as he wouldn't be able to call someone else by his name. The brother in the middle can't be Sam either, for the same reason. So, the brother on the right must be Sam. And since we know he always tells the truth, the guy in the middle is Bob, and the brother on the left is Alex. Both Bob and Alex lied to Carol. No wonder she doesn't visit much, huh? Sarah, Sierra, and Sandra are best friends. One day after school, they met up in the park to play a game. Each of them bought a certain amount of candies and chocolate bars before their game started. When they sat down to play, here's what happened. Sarah gave Sierra and Sandra as many sweets as they already had. Then, Sierra gave Sandra and Sarah as many sweets as they had. And finally, Sandra gave Sarah and Sierra as many sweets as they had. At the end of this crazy switcheroo, each of them had exactly 24 candies in their box. How many sweets did they have in the beginning? At first, Sarah had 39 candies, Sierra had 21, and Sandra had 12. This is how it works. In the first round, Sarah gave Sierra 21 candies to match what she had and gave Sandra 12 candies. She was left with 6 candies for herself. In the next round, Sierra gave 6 candies to Sarah and 24 to Sandra to match what they had. By the end, Sandra gave Sarah 12 candies and another 12 to Sierra. Detective Robin was called to Long Hill College to investigate a series of thefts that were happening on campus. In a week's time, the man had 3 suspects. "What were you doing when the last theft happened?" he asked them. Thomas said, "That day I was away. I had to take my younger sister to her violin rehearsal." Judy said, "I spent the day at the library getting ready for the midterm tests." Robert said, "I was also at the library, studying Portuguese. I'm going to Guatemala for the summer vacation, so I'm trying to catch up on the language." The detective immediately knew who was lying. Can you tell who it was? It was Robert. Detective Smith knows that they speak Spanish in Guatemala, not Portuguese, so he must have been lying. It was Bobby's first day on vacation in Hawaii. He booked a 2-week stay on an island for the summer. He also rented a motorcycle to get around, but on his first drive, he fell off the vehicle and hurt his head. The next thing he knew, he was waking up in a local hospital, and 3 women were waiting for him. All 3 women said they were his girlfriend. Can you help Robert find out who his real girlfriend is? The first woman is too tanned for the first day of vacation. The woman in the middle has her hands full with shopping bags. Who goes shopping while their boyfriend is in the hospital? It's the third woman. Also, look at her pocket. She has a spare key to the motorcycle Bobby was driving. Becca wants to cross the Sahara Desert on camelback. She knows it's a risky journey. All in all, it will take her 6 days to do it. But there's a problem. She can only carry enough food for 4 days. Can you help Becca figure out the least number of people she needs to invite in order for all of them to have enough food during the entire trip? She'll need to invite at least 2 people. Let's say Brendan and Tucker decide they want to tag along. By the end of the first day, they'll have enough food for 9 days. If they ate the equivalent of 3 days of food from Brendan's bag, Brendan would still have 1 day of food left to head back home and not need to cross the desert. Becca and Tucker can continue the crossing with an 8-day food package. On the end of the second day, the total food supply will be reduced to a 6-day package. Now, Tucker will have enough food for 2 days in his package and he can head back home. This will help Becca to finish the 4 last days by herself. Way to go, Becca! At Silverstone Elementary School, the teachers are excited to adopt a new methodology for testing their students. They would allow students to take a book with them to their exams for them to consult freely during test days. This wouldn't be considered cheating from now on. But on the day of the history exam, Sophie's teacher caught her cheating some other way. Take a look at the picture. Can you guess how Sophie was cheating? Sophie is hiding her cell phone inside her book. I guess that wasn't all that clever of her, huh? The king of High Country was holding a feast to celebrate another year of his life. He invited all of his friends, the royal members of nearby kingdoms. The guests gathered in the Great Hall, where a lovely table was set. Before the celebration began, one of the courtiers informed the king that all the drinks on the table were poisoned. Still, the king said nothing and offered everyone to raise a toast to the new millennium. All the guests got up and raised their glasses. That's when the king noticed the villain who had been trying to poison him and other guests. Take a look at this image. Can you tell who it is? Look at the guy sitting in the middle. He's holding an empty glass. He knows that the drinks are poisoned, so he hasn't poured anything for himself. On a snowy winter night, a thief broke into a famous singer's house and stole a bag of jewelry. He didn't manage to get too far though, because a police vehicle passed by while he was escaping. The thief tossed the bag of jewelry in the snow and hid behind one of the buildings. The singer immediately noticed that they had been robbed and called Detective Sommer to help. The detective quickly gathered 2 suspects. Take a look at both of them. Can you tell who the thief is? If you dig snow with your bare hands, they will most likely turn red. Take a look at that guy's hands. They're burning red. He must be the culprit.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.